Welcome back. In the previous film, I talked about if there are contradictions in the number of animals, and we saw that there is not. But how many times do they enter the ark? Is it 2 times or even more? At different occasions. And this is considered also to be a clear sign that 2 sources have been combined. Before we look at the text, I need to say something about the perfect form, the katal. The katal, the perfect, can be understood the tempus can be understood 4 different ways. But common for them all is that katal gives background information. It tells of something that is happened at the same time as the chronological or the main narrative and so on. But let's see first these different tempos. Perfect can be understood as something that has katal, the perfect, something that has happened before the narrative starts. It can be long before. The first sentence in the Bible, Bereshit bara Elohim et hashamayim ve'et haaretz. In the beginning had God created. That's perfect. The heaven and earth, the universe. Something that had happened before the narrative starts in verse 3, when God says, "Let there be light." We don't know if it was 1 microsecond before or 75 billion years or whatever. We just know that the narrator tells it had already happened. So you can understand it as perfect or plus, or have done or had done something. You can also understand it as a description of something that happens now, at the same time as the main narrative. For instance, Abraham sat, katal, perfect, at the tent opening when the angels came to him, which is the narrative. So something happened. Abraham was sitting there when the angels came to him. Then katal is used. You can translate it as, for instance, as Abraham sat there, the men came to him. The angels came to him. It can be a description of exactly now, translated with I am sitting. For instance, what the scene looks like right now, at the present moment. Or it also can be understood as something which is very soon going to happen, not in 1,000 years, but really is about to happen. All these 4 tempos or ways of understanding katal is possible and used quite often. And as a translator, you always have to think of, okay, which one of these 4 how should I understand katal this time? This is very important to understand, that this is something that traditionally has been neglected in the years gone by, especially in the 20th century, before the end of the 20th century. This was, as Joanna Muraco tells in their grammar, has been largely neglected. So let's see which forms are used. The first time is the Swedish names or English names of these forms. Imperfect, it's not good. Iktal, it's but it means it's a future. It means future, even though the very bad name in Swedish, imperfect, should be something else, but it's futurum, iktal. You shall bring to the ark, to survive, that's infinitive. They shall come to you. You shall take for you. This is something, the 2 first occasions, something which will happen in the future. Something you shall do. Okay, not a problem here. The third time, which happens just before the flood starts, here perfect. This is in yellow, imperfect. They come. Now they come to Noah. male and female, as God had commanded him. So here I translate the first time like present, something which is happening right now. They are coming, they are coming right now. But you could translate it also pair and pair. They had come to Noah in the ark. The same meaning, of course. But I think this way to translate it as something which is happening right now is better. But the meaning is the same. The fourth time, then the narrative form, the vayiktal form, is used. Yes, they came to Noah. And those who came, this is participle. And here is perfect. From all flesh they had come, as had commanded him God. Where is the difficulty? Where do they enter the ark more than once? They don't. There is no confusion in the Hebrew text, that's for sure. Nothing clear. They don't enter the ark more than once. And notice that the narrative form, vayiktal, is used only once. I just here mentioned that these 4 times when the entrance of the animals or command to Noah to take all the animals to the ark, it's told with an incredible literary finesse and skill. And according to the criteria of Sternberg, expansion, truncation, that means that something is left away, word order, grammar, or substitution, a word is substituted with another. You have 42 variations. 42. Only in this short text about when the animals should go into the ark. It's extremely much. But what about the men? The people. Is here, do they enter the ark more than once? First time it's future. You shall go to the ark. This is vekatal, which means shall be translated something which will happen in the future. Second time it's imperative. Go, bo, you and your house to the ark. Vo el hateva, go to the ark. In many translations they translated go into the ark. But bo el teva doesn't mean go into the ark. It can be understood in that way, but it doesn't say, there is no word for in. For instance, in Exodus 3:13, it's Moses who says, Anochi va el bnei Israel. I go to the children of Israel. That doesn't mean he goes inside them. He goes to them. The same word like bo el hateva, go to the ark. Now it's time to go to the ark. The flood is about to come. Go to the ark. But if you translated it as in Swedish, go into the ark, then you get something strange. But that is not in the Hebrew text. It doesn't. You always, as a translator, I say it again, you have to think, how shall I understand it this time? El hateva. Does it mean that they go into the ark, or is the commandment to go to the ark? Third time, there is the narrative form, imperfect consecutive, vayiktal. And Noah went. Noah and his sons went to the ark. They went there. Here's the commandment, go, and here it said, yes, they went. The fourth time, it's perfect. And it says, katal. Perfect is katal. This special day had Noah with Shem and Ham and Japheth, the sons of Noah, went into the ark. Now at this point the flood has already started and they were in the ark. That means this time, as a translator, I really can or should say they had gone into the ark. You have to understand, ask yourself what is the best way to how shall I understand it this time. So, is it confused? Is here two sources? No. it's very, very clear. First future, then imperative, then the narrative form, and then concluding, yeah, they really had gone into the ark as God has told them. No confusion. Very clear. And with that, I stop for now. And in the next film, I will talk about how many times will the flood start. Please come back and listen to that if you want.